Hey there folks, I'm Ruby Juice, and this is another Farm Sim Network or FSN tutorial, this time on how to pay your invoices. So here on the home page, when you log in, if you look under the alerts, if you have any invoices, you'll see them right here. So I see I've got 2 unpaid invoices. So if I head to my invoice section by clicking on that, or by going to Finances and Invoices, you see here, this is the invoice system. And it shows all of my invoices, outbound and inbound. So I've got 2 inbound invoices, both from Southern Star Finance, and these are for the loan that I have. So every day I get invoices from Southern Star. I've got 2 loans with them. So I get an invoice, and you'll see here, it's pending payment. So if I go to View, I see the invoice number, who it's billed to, which is me obviously, the total amount, and when it was sent. And if you look here at the line items, I've got loan interest and the 1% principal payment on my loan. So I can either authorize payment or deny payment. If I deny payment, I'm going to hurt my credit rating. Obviously, I need to pay off my loans, so I'm going to go ahead and authorize that. And then you'll see it says paid PFP. Now, this doesn't mean that you've actually paid it off. It does say here at the top of the website, you have paid this invoice, but I haven't actually. I've just authorized payment on it. And I'll show you what that means in just a second. So let's do the second one here. Same thing, Southern Star. Bit of a bigger loan on this one. So 1% principal and the loan interest comes out to $54.80. We'll authorize that one as well. Now it's showing paid PFP. Now in order to actually pay that off, because you see my amount here at the top, it hasn't gone down at all. I haven't actually paid these yet. So go to the Finances and Accounting tab, and you see here, under your invoices, it shows you the amount. So they don't show up here until you've authorized them, because maybe somebody could just be invoicing you for something that you never did, or something that you never agreed to pay for. So they're not going to show up here in your liabilities unless you actually authorize it. So now that I've authorized those 2 invoices, they show up here, $9,719 in total. And in order to pay that off, I just have to click the little $ here. Boom. Paid off a liability. Woohoo! So my loans have gone down. I have no more liabilities there. And I am all set. Now on the flip side, if I wanted to create an invoice to bill to somebody, because you see here, I have sent a few, you would just go to New Invoice. You can determine who you want to send it to. So for the purposes of this one, I'm going to go ahead and set it to Ryder Enterprises, Mr. Hans himself. So you create the invoice. It gives you an invoice number, who it's getting billed to, shows you the total amount and when it was generated. And so right now, obviously, there's nothing on it. So you could add a line item. You can create pre-made line items so that you can just throw them on there and they're already ready for you to just easily add on. Or you can just add a custom one every time. Type in what you want it to be, how much you want it to cost, and maybe how many of them it was if you were actually selling a certain amount of something. So for me, often it's billing somebody for work I did. So I might say 2 hours of harvest work for however much the person was willing to pay. Add that to the invoice. So for the test here, I'm going to say 2 hours of harvest work, $0. I don't want to actually bill Hans for anything. Add it to the invoice. It'll show up here as the line item. And you could add a bunch of line items if there are multiple things that you want to charge somebody for. And then you would go ahead and hit send. And then just as I showed earlier, it would show up on their homepage as an alert that they have an unpaid invoice. They would review it, either authorize it or deny it. And then if they authorize it, they would pay it off. And obviously, if somebody owes you some money and you invoice them and they deny payment, I believe it hurts their credit score, but I would also take it up with them. If they're not receptive to paying you, take it up with the staff. But I have yet to see any issues like that crop up in the FSN, but you never know. And that is all you need to know about the invoice system, both inbound and outbound. Hope you found this helpful. Thank you very much for watching, and happy invoicing.